The Big Ten is now undeniably better than the SEC. And to start it off, we're just going to go to this Tennessee Illinois game. I know it's a bowl and didn't really matter so much. There were some starters out. But these two teams have the same record. They were both middle of the pack in their conference and had some pretty hard strength of schedules. If you start off with Tennessee, you can see that Tennessee had a decent schedule. All right, they played Alabama, kind of close, lost by 17, not the closest game. Got destroyed by Vanderbilt. Played again another okay-ish game with Oklahoma. Took Georgia to overtime and only lost by 3. And Illinois has kind of the same thing. I mean, they played the numbers 1 and 2 teams in the country. I will argue that Ohio State was very fraudulent, but Indiana is not. And they beat USC. That's a ranked win that Tennessee just doesn't have. They could never get over that hump when playing ranked teams. Got pretty close against Georgia, but a pretty close isn't a win. Now let me take you to the Iowa-Vanderbilt game, where, again, middle of the pack Iowa, 8-4, played a top tier, should have been in the playoffs according to many, many, many people, Vanderbilt, 10-2. Why wouldn't they be in the playoffs? Vanderbilt didn't play anybody. Their schedule at the beginning of the season looked like a gauntlet. They looked like they were playing a ton of possibly great teams, but everybody that they were going to play in the SEC ended up being excruciatingly mid, and it shows. Iowa played Indiana, Oregon, and USC. Lost to all 3 of them by no more than 12 points altogether. That is good football. They played good teams close and just destroyed everybody that was bad that they played. I'm pretty sure they shut out teams like Wisconsin. They beat Michigan State. They destroyed Minnesota. Teams like that. Then you move on to Vanderbilt, who, despite having a little bit of a watered-down schedule from what it was supposed to be, still played Texas and Alabama. But Iowa just dominated. The 8-4 team was just playing their hearts out. Now, again, it was a bowl game, had 0 implications, didn't really matter, starters were out, whatever. But what happens when you're down to the biggest moment where you are playing to continue your season in the playoffs? This screenshot right here shows it. Let's move on to Indiana, Alabama, and the monstrosity that the SEC is. Now, before we get there, I would like to talk about the Michigan-Texas game. Big Ten, SEC. Texas just destroyed Michigan. Michigan was fraudulent. Didn't beat a single ranked team. Horrible team. Almost lost to Northwestern. Michigan's just not a good team. They were way overhyped, and I'm going to make another video about how the AP poll preseason is just awful for football, but it's also kind of good. I don't know. I'm going to make a video on that another time, but that's a different subject. But yes, that's one game. SEC beat the Big Ten. Texas was red hot. Texas was a good team. They arguably should have made the playoffs. Could have. Was probably a better team than Ohio State at the end of the season. Just not at the beginning of the season. Arch Manning had some stuff to work out. That's a different scenario. Kudos to them. Pasadena, California, where the Rose Bowl is played. One of the most iconic games in football history, where last year Alabama came in and lost to Michigan 20-27. Time to avenge themselves against a Big Ten team. What better way to do it? Bama was determined not to lose. But determination only gets you so many places. Indiana put a textbook belt to ass on Alabama, beating them by 35 points. Alabama's largest loss in like 30 years. It was something crazy like that. I can't remember exactly. But Indiana dominated with the bye week, which has been just awful. That bye week is way too long. The 2-week break in between the first and second round shouldn't be there. It should be a back-to-back week thing. You should get 1 week on a bye. It's a whole thing that just messes with teams. But it didn't mess with Indiana. They dominated the entire game start to finish. Ty Simpson got benched. Your starting quarterback got benched at the half because he was playing so terribly. That is a disappointment. All the SEC fans were talking about how the SEC has so much depth. They're so much better. They show up when it counts. And then you guys get beaten. Your depth, your Vanderbilt, your Tennessee gets beaten by our depth. Our Iowa, our Illinois. That's not depth. That's bias. SEC is 100% biased by the CFP committee because they won for so long. But now that everybody can pay their players and don't go around acting like the SEC didn't pay their players before, we all know they did. Oh, there's no proof. Yeah, they did. Who cares? It's all over. Everybody can pay their players now, and the SEC can't do anything about it. They cannot stop the Big Ten. The SEC is not better than the Big Ten, period.